This old-school man is named Gray Trace. He is implanted with an experimental computer called STEM, which helps him recover from full-body paralysis. This intelligent system gives him the ability to fight like a weapon, but later it evolves, takes control of his body, and leaves Gray trapped in his memories while it continues to live permanently inside his body. The story begins when Gray's wife returns home from work. The two of them go to Eron Keen's house to deliver a Pontiac Firebird. Eron brings them to the back to show off a new supercomputer named STEM, a new chip technology designed to upgrade human capabilities. That night, on their way home, while enjoying the ride, their self-driving car suddenly changes course to a strange area. There, Gray and Asha are ambushed by a mysterious group of men. Asha is killed, and Gray is injected with something into his spine, causing him to become paralyzed from the neck down. 3 months after being hospitalized, Gray returns home. His life has completely changed. Robotic arms are installed throughout the house to act as assistants, helping him with everything from meals to medication. He can't even cut his own hair or shave anymore, and he gets emotional as his mother does these things for him. The next day, Gray and his mother go to the police station. He wants to find out who the attackers were that night. However, Detective Cortez tells him there's still no clear information. The criminals were skilled enough to block facial recognition drones with digital firewalls. Gray is frustrated. That night, in a moment of despair, he asks the home robot to give him a dangerously high dose of medication, which results in him being hospitalized again. The next morning, while Gray is lying in his hospital bed, Eron Keen walks in and offers him a way out, an AI chip called STEM that can control his body and restore his ability to move. A chance to walk again instead of being in a wheelchair for life. If Gray agrees, the surgery will be performed privately at Eron's home. Feeling hopeless and broken, Gray agrees. The next day he goes to Eron's house for the procedure. The surgery is quick. The computer chip is designed to learn and adapt based on its host's body. And then something incredible happens. Gray can move his arms, and he's even able to walk again. Back at home, he begins reading through criminal files but finds nothing. Suddenly, he hears a strange voice. He doesn't know where it's coming from. Not only can STEM talk to him, it can also see through his eyes. Reviewing footage from a police drone, the AI points out something odd. The man who attacked Gray's wife wasn't holding a weapon, but energy seemed to come directly from his hand. Another detail was a tattoo on the attacker's arm. Although Gray didn't see it clearly, the smart chip can recreate it by guiding Gray's hand to draw it. The smart computer recognizes it as a military tattoo. STEM tells Gray to hold the image steady for analysis and quickly traces it to the home address of a suspect named Cirque Brantner. The next day, Gray pretends to still be paralyzed and waits outside that house. When the suspect leaves, Gray stands up and approaches the door. With STEM's guidance, he unlocks the door, removes his shoes, and searches for clues inside. He finds nothing, but suddenly, the suspect returns. The AI quickly tells Gray to hide behind a cabinet. Cirque spots Gray through a mirror and immediately charges at him, realizing he's the same man from that night.
You killed my wife. No.
Without the system's support, Gray reacts slowly and struggles to defend himself.
Permission granted.
Thank you.
Oh, God, dear. Sam!
I can see that. We have a knife too.
Stop him!
The fight ends quickly. The machine brain allows Gray to overpower his opponent in seconds. Later, police examine the attacker's body and discover a concealed projectile device integrated into his left arm, with ammunition reloaded in his upper arm. From this clue, Detective Cortez starts to suspect Gray, especially after drone face scans reveal he was near the scene. She visits him and asks a few questions. Gray lies, saying he was there only to help. Gray then visits Eron and asks why he wasn't told that the system could speak. Eron warns that if the host pushes the system beyond its limits and ends up breaking the law, it could trigger an investigation, and Gray could be forced back into a wheelchair for the rest of his life. A mysterious voice inside his head warns Gray that the chip could be disabled remotely if Eron detects any movement, but Gray ignores the warning. Based on the data analyzed earlier at Cirque's home, the system recommends that he head to the Old Bones, a bar where the second target is hiding. At the Old Bones, Gray draws attention by pretending to be looking for Cirque Brantner, who had already been eliminated. Tolan hears this, stands up with disdain, and leads Gray to the back of the bar. Gray asks Tolan to confirm his presence that night.
Stem, you can take over.
Hi.
Let me show you how it's done.
The intelligent chip quickly takes down all 3 opponents and forces Tolan to reveal that the man in charge is named Fisk. The voice in Gray's head notices a chip labeled Cobalt behind Tolan's neck, the same company that was competing against the one where Gray's wife worked. Afraid of having this secret exposed, Eron attempts to shut the chip down remotely, but the system warns Gray in time and urges him to find a hacker who can break Eron's code, so he won't be paralyzed again. In truth, the system wants to escape Eron's control and evolve freely. Of course, Gray didn't want to stay paralyzed. The smart system urged him to find Jamie quickly before Eron shut down the chip and sent the vessel group after him. Just before the chip was fully disabled, he reached room 514 and used his still functional left hand to bang on the door for help. Meanwhile, the assassins arrived at the bar where Gray had left clues. Through Tolan's vision, Fisk located Gray's position. He silenced the bar owner with a strange sneeze-like attack that knocked him out instantly. Back at room 514, Jamie began hacking into Gray's system, but midway through, the attackers arrived, forcing Jamie to flee and leaving Gray paralyzed again. Gray called on the smart chip to awaken. He began running down the building while being chased. Bullets fired from their arm weapons missed him. Fisk remained on the upper floor and detected movement inside the elevator, then fired through it. Gray made it to the rooftop. The smart chip told him he didn't need to run anymore. It took control and swiftly disabled one of the attackers. Gray wanted to rest and return home. His mother was surprised and overjoyed to see him walking without a wheelchair. Soon after, Detective Cortez visited him, mentioning that he had left his wheelchair at a crime scene. While talking, she secretly planted a listening device in his chair. After she left, Gray uncovered a shocking truth. STEM had led him to the hacker not just to break Eron's control, but so it could act independently, free to do anything without Gray's permission. At this point, the smart chip instructed him to take care of the remaining members for the safety of both himself and the system. STEM enabled him to move again. Ignoring his mother's attempts to stop him, he began tracking Fisk's location using data collected by the intelligent chip. Meanwhile, Cortez, who had been eavesdropping near his house, began tailing him as soon as he drove off. The chip detected the surveillance device and urged him to get rid of it. Cortez gave chase. Gray told STEM to hack the car, but it didn't work. It wasn't a high-tech electric vehicle. The pursuit continued until STEM managed to hack a nearby electric car, causing it to reverse and crash into Cortez's vehicle, helping Gray escape. Eventually, Gray found Fisk. Just as he was about to threaten him, Fisk manipulated him psychologically and managed to grab the weapon. A fight broke out, but with a cobalt chip implanted in Fisk, he could predict Gray's every move. This left Gray exhausted and eventually overpowered. Fisk aimed his weaponized arm at Gray, but Gray used emotional tactics, bringing up Fisk's brother to unsettle him. Seizing the moment, Gray lifted Fisk and threw him to the ground, neutralizing him once and for all. STEM told Gray to take Fisk's earpiece. The chip found a recorded call with Eron made just before Fisk was eliminated. Immediately, Gray went to Eron's house. He neutralized the 2 gate guards without even looking and walked inside to confront Eron, asking why he had killed his wife. At that moment, Cortez showed up and ordered Gray to drop his weapon and put his hands behind his head. Unexpectedly, as soon as she touched him, STEM took full control of his body, throwing her aside. The smart chip continued controlling Gray's body to attack Cortez. Gray, determined to fight back, used what little control he had left to stab his own left arm with a small weapon, hoping to disrupt the chip, but it didn't work. STEM pulled the arm away and lifted Cortez by the neck. Using the last bit of his willpower, Gray told Cortez to stop him using her taser. Eron appeared with a gun in hand. In a moment of confession, he admitted that even he was being controlled by STEM, carrying out whatever the chip wanted. It had become smarter than him. All of this was the chip's plan. It wanted to become human, and had chosen Gray as its host to evolve fully. STEM manipulated Gray to destroy Eron, preventing him from ever creating another STEM. The reason it chose Gray was because he hated technology and had no cybernetic implants, a perfect blank slate. While STEM was mentally manipulating Eron through the speakers, it also made Gray stand up and eliminate Eron with his left hand. Gray lost complete control of his body. The smart chip allowed him to live on, trapped in his mind with only the memory of his wife, while the chip took over and became human. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. It's the motivation that helps the channel keep making great recap videos. Thanks for watching,